Section 2 of Chapter 1 is about integers. So first, let's look at negative numbers. So what is a negative number? It's a number less than 0. The negative numbers are on the left of 0 on a number line. So here we've got a number line with 0 here in the middle. All the numbers to the right of 0, those are positive. And all the numbers to the left of 0, those are negative. And, it is natural to count up from 0 positively. So you got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But when we count in the negative sense, again, we don't write negative numbers from left to right like we do positive numbers. We do it right to left. So this would be -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. Okay, next we have the concept of absolute value. So the absolute value of a number is written with these two vertical bars around a number or a variable. And so this number or variable can be either positive or negative. So for example, if n was 5, then we would have the absolute value of 5. We could also have a negative value in an absolute value symbol, something that looks like that. The absolute value of any number is always a positive result, which represents the distance from 0 on the number line. So what do we mean by that? If you have the absolute value of a positive number, you're just going to get a positive number as a result. But if you have the absolute value of a negative number, it's just going to be a positive result. So if you have the absolute value of -37, that's going to be equal to +37. You have the absolute value of -9,321. That's equal to +9,321. So absolute value just takes any number and makes it positive. And this part about representing the distance from 0, distance is always a positive number, So, if you're starting from a city that's here and you travel north 35 miles, and then you've traveled north 35 miles. If you start from this city and you travel south 35 miles, then you've traveled south 35 miles. It's not like this is +35 and that's -35 miles. Okay. Distance is always a positive number. So if you take the absolute value of -5, then the distance from 0 is a distance of 5 from 0. Okay. And if you have the absolute value of 5, that is a distance of 5 from 0. Okay. So there's two ways to think about it. One way is to think of it in terms of distance from 0, and distance is always positive. But the way that I learned it was just simply that the absolute value of any number will just make that number positive. So down here, I've got some examples. And the one thing you really need to make sure you pay attention for is if you have a problem like this, or it says solve for x, and it says the absolute value of x equals -8. So this is actually a situation that cannot happen. So, remember that an absolute value of values is always positive. So there are no values that x can be that will result in this equation being a true statement. Therefore, this equation has no solutions. So, for example, if we let x equals positive 8, then the absolute value of x would be the absolute value of 8, which is going to give us positive 8. And if x was negative 8, the absolute value of negative 8 is going to be positive 8. So in any of these two situations, your result is positive. And so there's no possible way to get a negative 8 out of an absolute value sign. So this would be an example where there are no solutions. There's no value of x that'll make this a true statement.